All right, bet. Now we lit. Now we lit, guys. We on the mic. We on the mic. We on the ones and twos out here. Let me get this mic out the way so I can situate myself as a So we got both of the screens going on. So if you want to call in, I gotta have them. I gotta end the Instagram. I'm about to have you call in. Nah, I can't even. Oh, bet. Oh, I see one person on the Instagram. Alright, let's have it. Now, there's a lot of shit going on right now. So let me figure it out. Alright, bet. So we're gonna. Alright, lit. Yeah, what's poppin'? Everybody come on the YouTube. Everybody come on the YouTube. We about to get lit. Yo, Robert Matthew, what's going on? Ingrid Rodriguez, what's up, everybody? How's the audio sound? How do you like the background music and everything? So we finally got the Instagram, YouTube live. This is my first time going live on YouTube. Forgive me for the lighting and the visuals and all of that. We're gonna get it lit. I got a camera and everything to go live, but this is a tester. My computer right now can't handle my camera, so I got a Sony S7, right? So once I'm gonna stream with the once I stream with the camera, it's gonna be lit. So the audio is just gonna be that much. The audio is gonna be that much different, right? Visuals is that much different. Everything's gonna be different. So, let me put on my YouTube my Instagram to watch, to check, search me on YouTube. So look. Anytime you do something new, it's gonna be like, wow, that was something new. That was a little bit tough, right? But as you make the change towards actually doing that which you said that you want to do for yourself, you're gonna be like, oh wow. It gets easier with time. It gets easier with experience. So then you're like, all right, okay, maybe this seems like more something it seems like more. It seems like, oh, I feel like I can do this now. And what is this? Sometimes the things that we think are hard, like we might want to get a new job, we want to get healthy and everything like that. So let's talk about getting healthy. So what I like to share with people is that if I were to meet you the first day and we met on the streets right now and I was promoting DrMissions, how I would sell it and how I promote it is that the average person has on average, anywhere from 5 to 50 pounds of undigested waste in their colon. Once you have those excess amount of waste in the colon and you don't have a proper bowel movement, what happens to the body is that your immune system gets weakened, right? When your immune system gets weakened, you have more of a chance to develop a disease in your body because now your immune system cannot fight off all the diseases that you have in your, that can possibly come from the waste that's in your colon, right? So once we're living on this path, we got to understand that two things is going to be happening. Either three things can happen. Either you stay the same, you improve, or you get worse. Right? That's always the fact of the matter. So once you know that there's only three things that can happen, you want to only focus on one. You only want to focus on getting better. And if you keep on doing the same thing over and over, you're gonna stay the same, right? Sometimes you might get worse, right? If you can if you're on a trajectory of doing things that don't benefit you, obviously it's going to get worse. If you do things that benefit you over and over and over, if you're grinding hard, that's when things start to start to improve themselves and start to get into the space of success, right? Because you're continuing to put yourself in the space of growth, right? So once you're in the space of growth, you can say, okay, what am I going to do today to improve my to improve myself and to get closer towards my goals and dreams? What am I going to do? Whatever that goal is, you have to ask yourself, am I improving? Is this keeping me the same, or is this taken away from me? Right? If it's taken away from you, eliminate it. Right? If it's staying the same, but you're getting benefits from it, keep on doing that. Right? If it's if you're not getting benefits from it, throw it away, detox it. Right? So always improve, right, and maintain that little by little. You improve as you get as time goes on. You're gonna see, wow, that's like you're like, wow, I got a lot of progress in that, in those small steps, in those small in that brick lane, little by little, right? So it's the little steps that we take that help to improve or actually dictate where we're going, right? What's going on, 007? You know? So I appreciate everybody who's coming on the live. Check us out on YouTube at DrMissions. Please subscribe. We're definitely gonna be dropping more longer videos, not only longer videos, but just more quality videos on the stream. So in terms of audio, you're gonna hear better audio with the cam with the microphone. We can't add that up on the with the camera and everything like that. I mean with the phone, but you know. Brothers, did I send it to the comments? And yo, I appreciate everybody for supporting. This is the first live, so YouTube is like the YouTube live is way ahead of the IG live. I bet. So we in the future, right? We in the future right now. So let's put some more. If any of y'all want to hear some music on the background too, let me know. Social media to education, or do you use for fun and silly community purposes? Okay, somebody asked a great question. Are you going to use social media for educational purposes, or do you do some fun, silly, comedic videos too? Yes, I do both, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody has to laugh, right? We all gotta laugh. I particularly love laughing, and I'm a funny person, right? I'm not the funniest person, but I like funny things, right? Like, so that's a talent to be able to make somebody laugh. Healer, that's a healing, right? So I'm a jokey person, so I love to joke around. And when it comes to healing, I like to incorporate both of those, education and comedy, together, because it's gonna give it a more digestible, it's something more digestible. When you feel like you're having fun and you're not learning, you want to learn, right? It's better like that, right? So I want to make it so that it's more digestible, and it's so that you want to learn about these things, right? So not only is it like, oh, it's information, like, oh, don't eat this, don't do that, don't do this. It sounds like fucking rules. I hate rules. I don't like rules at all. That's why I didn't do good in the school type of thing, because they give you anxiety with the rules, and then they make you feel bad. So I wish I could smoke. It just messes with my anxiety. Yeah, like, sometimes we gotta all see that, like, everything is not for everybody too. So whether if it's smoking or improving your health or anything like that, or being funny or sticking to education, you want to stick towards what you are good at, what comes to you naturally, your personality, right? You want to stick that into what you're doing, because then that's the realness. That's how you're gonna come from the realness, and that's how I particularly like to educate. I'm not the best at everything, but I do my best, right? So when I do my best, that's when people gravitate towards it. So everybody's not gonna like it, right? But it's gonna save who it's gonna save, right? Some people are gonna get saved by it. Some people are gonna get offended by it. Some people are never gonna hear about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, right? If I can make you laugh and remember and make you to remember drinking water, or to be like, oh, I need to take a dump today, like, yo, like, I remember you remember something funny, versus like if I tell you you got to take 3 shits a day, 3 to 6 bowel movements a day, drink your water every day. If I make it funny, like if you guys check out my post on my IG, like how the silhouette challenge and everything like that, make it funny. Like there's mass silhouette challenges. Females are looking very, very good and making me thirsty. I don't care. I'm getting thirsty. I'm gonna be real. So it's like, it's also talking to me. It's like, yo, check out the video. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you getting thirsty, you need some water too, right? So like y'all just watch the video, you know what I'm saying? It's funny. But this is how we grew too. This is how DrMission, we grew a lot on Instagram. It's through comedy, doing skits with people like Ken Stars, Capri Fernandez, Damn Homie. Shout out to them. Some other people we did some stuff with. I Am Thompson. Uh, those are the main ones that we did. Oh, how can I forget my boy? Damn, what's his name? The one who be like, "Yo, you don't got it." I forgot his name right now. It's fucked up. It's gonna come to me later. But we did a few. Uh, damn, Gene, the Haitian dude who's the you know what I'm saying? I forget their IG, Instagrams and shit for a minute, but y'all know who it is. The guys who be throwing people and shit, like whatever. Like at the end of the day, we did all the influencers that I've used are comedians, right? Like, because at the end of the day, that's what's the most. It's not the most thing that gets the most popularity. Like at the end of the day, what gets more popularity than comedy? But like women and stuff like that, like bad women. So you can do both, but I feel like comedy is more for everybody, right? Like, yeah, sex sells too, but that's not always appropriate, right? And not everybody can. Even comedy is not always appropriate, right? Because it can have some sexual elements and everything like that to it. But if you can make it funny, and also sometimes make it to where everybody can like laugh at it, then that's dope. Sometimes you got to make things that are more risky, because like more, like more like vulgar and stuff like that, because that gets more attention. And if it gets more attention, then you have more of a chance of growing and saving lives and everything like that. So you want to leverage both of those, like controversy and comedy and your message. But figuring out how to balance all of those is going to basically show you what you're going to get. So when you see that, okay, all right, let me be like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to live my dreams, and I'm going to be like, let's see what happens when I start like grinding for a year straight. Right? And just saying like, okay, this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you, like this is what happened. I was like, let me see what happens if I start grinding hard and I just focus on DrMission, right? And whatever happens, happens. Like I'm not like there's no plan B. Like even though I could have had a plan B, you know what I'm saying? Like I went to school too, so it's not like I didn't go to school. And that's another thing too. I want to speak about going to school too, but let's talk about that. Look, going to school sometimes, and especially now, might seem as like, oh, it's not important. And a lot of times everybody's like, oh, you don't need to do it to level up and stuff like that. And right now that's very true. But what I did get that from is I got the discipline of finishing things, right? And sometimes you gotta just like finish it and then, you know, do what you gotta do. Not for everybody though, right? Sometimes you gotta know when to quit certain times, right? So for me, I I was doing personal training at a time and I had to quit that, right? But I didn't actually quit. I just kept working there. Depressed, anxiety, you know, the job that it's like when you're working a job that you know you don't 100% love, you don't 100% agree with. I love personal training people. I love to get people healthy, right? And I would, get them on DrMissions and everything like that. But the problem was that it was not my gym, right? And I had to we were forced to sell supplements that I didn't agree with that were causing people health issues. So after one woman told me, what it done for her, because I used to let people like if they want certain things, I wouldn't push no supplements on them. But if anybody who's been a personal trainer, you know that you have to sell supplements, right? So I wouldn't push nothing on them, right? But I would just, if they want to get it, they'll get it, and I wouldn't tell them not to, right? Even though I wouldn't personally take that myself, right? So that fucked with me knowing what it is. And then once one woman told me like, oh, it fucked with her period, I was like, oh nah, hell no, I'm never fucking telling people to get this shit. So I had to do my own thing in there, kind of, and figure out how to navigate. But I didn't like that. So you know, I should have been quit. But it's like sometimes you don't know if you quitting is going to lead to other failures, right? So you should just stay there, right? So you stay there and it's not the best for you, and then you don't know how to leave, right? And then you're like, okay, what should I do? You still go there, and this is how you end up in a job 10 years, 20 years that you don't like because you just going day by day and day by day, staying comfortable, right? So when you're saying to yourself, damn, these are goals or this is that, make sure that they're goals and you're really acting on them, because the universe is going to present you opportunities for you to take them. And if it's something that the universe needs you to accomplish, you're going to start getting into mad situations to where you're forced to get out of that present situation that's not leading you to your path. For example, I was doing all of that, right? So I had to get into a car accident twice. One, I was on a bike. Another one, I was in the car, right? And those accidents pushed me to have to quit. Not have to quit. I didn't quit anything. I just couldn't work no more. I couldn't be a personal trainer. My knee was fucked up. So, you know what I mean? I couldn't personal train anymore. So I had to leave that job and figure out how to still bring in money. Like I'm not gonna just sit in the crib and not do nothing. So I was like, I'm not gonna go and get another job. I'm gonna just focus on DrMission, because DrMission was the side income anyway, and I was making money from that. So I was like, let me just focus 100% on this. And then I was like, fuck. I got into a car accident too, so I didn't have any car, and then my license got suspended because of what I was doing, which was driving tipsy. Yeah, I was driving a little drunk, but it wasn't because I was driving drunk that I crashed. It was because your mindset is in a different, like, I done that shit for 8 years, driving a little tipsy, right? Mad people do it, but it's a dangerous behavior because you might not know. One day you might get hyped and you're like, oh, I want to speed, and then you do it, and then now you crash, right? And then you die, right? There's so many people. I could have died on that accident, but I didn't because there's other things that I had to do. So once those things like that happen for you, you're like, shit, nah, I gotta go hard, right? So when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna say, oh shit, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and like this is what gives me, this is what gives me energy and everything like that. Then you can like go onto the other, you can get into the other side of the spectrum where I'm at right now, where you know, uh, going so hard that you're not sleeping. You know what I mean? Going so hard that you're not uh eating properly. I eat properly, but going so hard like that, like, you know what I'm saying, that your sleeping pattern is off and shit like that. Like that can happen too. So you want to get to the point of where you're getting at. So where you're gonna get to the you want to get to the point of where you're balancing that, when you're balancing all of that. So right now I'm rebalancing that. So you got to make sure that you're sleeping, right? And you're doing what you're supposed to. You're going full force, going hard, but you're also resetting too as well, because I had to go hard and 100% believe myself into the business, right, for it to grow, right? So once I didn't have no car or anything like that, right? And before I had a car since I was 17, right? But with that, I fucked up my license, got my license suspended, and haven't had a car since too. Some of that was being scared and then procrastinating to get a new license, but now I'm gonna get my shit. But now it's a little bit different because the corona thing. So I'm using that as an excuse though, right? Because you can still get your shit no matter what, right? Don't use that as an excuse, and don't learn those behaviors, right? We all make excuses for ourselves. Those are the things that stop us. So I'm gonna get my shit. My shit is, I wrote it. If I got a vision board and I wrote that on the vision board, and that's been on something that that's been something that it's been on my mind since last year. So I got to do it. Um, and I wasn't racing. I went out with my friends, my frat brothers, actually, not even my friends, my frat brothers. One of the bros' birthday. We used to drink. We get drunk. Like that's it. Like, but the difference is now is that I'm vegan now, and I won't just eat anything. And then like me going out there, I didn't eat that much. I'm vegan, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't my whole diet is different, but then I'm consuming alcohol that's a poison, that if you're on some vegan shit, that shit's gonna hit your system way faster. But I'm drinking the same way as I did before, and that shit was not the same. And then I don't have nothing to sober me up because I'm not eating like that. So I can't just eat a burger or a pizza, like, you know what I'm saying? Can't eat anything as being a vegan. So you still stick to it, but then now you fucked up, and it's like them two worlds don't mix, right? So I dropped everybody off home, got everybody home safe, and then when I was around the corner from my crib, I was like, now I was driving fast. Like soon as I dropped everybody home, I started driving fast. That's what I remember, going home fast. I was eating all the lights because a brand new car. I had the car for like a week or so. Brand new car, same year, everything, right? A current car, you feel me? I cashed out on it real quick. So um I didn't cash out on it, but I said lease. So it's cash out. So had that shit, was whipping it. Boom. I was like, yo, I gotta open this car up because you know how you got a new car. He's like, I'm gonna drive this drink fast. So I'm just zipping through shit. So my last stupid idea was like, this is the craziest shit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna run through like a couple stop. I'm gonna run through this stop sign and just zoom it. So I was doing that. Went through the stop sign. boom, and a car hit me. Shit flipped multiple times, maybe once or twice, but in my head it flipped multiple times, and I had to jump out the back. And right there, that was the wake up call. And right then and there is when I had to say, okay, you got to make a change, and you got to make a change ASAP, because you could have died right there. And you feel me? So I was always doing DrMission. I've been doing DrMission. This website's been open for 11 years. This business has been open for 23 years. Right? But it didn't start taking off until I started to really believe that it can and it should, and I put my whole effort behind that I put my feet behind those actions, right? So because you could say one thing and then your feet don't match the actions behind what you're saying. And yeah, I was helping people when I was living like that, but at the same time, I also sold alcoholic drinks too. And not that long ago. You understand? It's not that long ago that I changed, right? So you can change too, and change other people's lives. And I'm not saying that when I was at that point I was like totally fucked up, right? Because it was like at 18 I was meditating 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. Like I would meditate. Like I knew about this thing. There's a difference between knowing and then there's a difference between knowing and doing something and not knowing and doing something. One, you're doing something out of like ignorance and naive. Other one, you know is wrong and you're doing the shit anyway. That's what it was me. I knew this shit was wrong. I knew I was bugging. I was like, yo, damn, I'm bugging. Like this shit is bugging out. You know everything. When you're conscious of it, you cannot do it no more. Cause then that's when the universe is like, nah, you learned already. You gotta, what are you doing? You learned already. Especially if the universe is holding you down and taking care of you and shit like that, because not everybody gets to learn. Some people got to be a lesson for you, right? Like you heard of people dying drunk. I have friends who died drunk in high school, right? Driving, and I was like, yo, I would never drive drunk. But then as you get older, you fucking do it. Just how how we get, like when we're younger, the younger we are, sometimes the smarter we are, and the older we get is like we get more stupid. Like for example, uh when you were a little kid, you say, "Oh, I would never smoke cigarettes." When you get older, you're a teenager, you start smoking cigarettes. Like the fuck. Um, when you're young, you play. You get older, you stop playing because you care. You care about what people think of you and shit like that. Like all these type of things that block us from, you know, being ourselves. Not in our, and I'm not gonna even say our higher self or we're being our lower self. Nah, we're just being ourselves. Like there's no such thing as a higher self and lower self. At the end of the day, that's still part of yourself. Look, say you got say you got a pole, right? Say you got a pole. Which one is the top? Which one is the bottom? You don't know. Whichever way you say, whichever way you flip it is the top and the bottom. That's like your higher self and your lower self. It's still part of the same stick. Still part of the same pole. It just is different in degrees, right? As it goes up is lower, as it goes down is no, as it goes up is higher, as it goes down is lower. If you were to turn that stick over, now up is down and down is up. You feel me? So things is, oh, that's how life is. You understand? It's not always, there's degrees to it, right? There's degrees of separation. There's no such thing as a yes all the time, 100% yes and 100% no. That's why there's always a different way to get out of it, right? So let's say this, for example. I thought I needed a car to grow my business, to get to 100 stores and get to the next level, making $1 million, all of that, right? But I'm not there 100% yet that year. I'm not there 100% yet, but I'm on my way there towards what I want to get, right? For in terms of healing people. Um and that is only because like I believed in myself, and it's not because I didn't have a car or had a car that would have made the difference, right? Like if you look for the solution, you'll find it. Like I wasn't like, oh no, I don't have a car, I can't distribute this products to the stores, because that's how I was like, oh, okay, I gotta call the stores, drive them to the do the delivery, all that shit, right? So I was like, hmm, no, I can actually take it there on the train if I have to. I can I can have someone drive me and pay them, like, but most of the time in the beginning, it was first taking them taking them myself on the train, or you know taking a Uber partial and just making it happen. And it's like, if you need to if the Ubers are too expensive, right, you need to get on that train. If the Ubers are too expensive, also you need to get more sales, right, too. So it was just some shit. It was some shit, man. Like it was some shit that I had to really grind for a year for. It's not only a year though. I'm not gonna front. Like I'm not gonna put in 23 years into a year. But there were certain things that definitely changed within that time period, right? In terms of mindset. Yo, Carlos, let's talk more in a little bit. Everybody who wants to go live with me right now off of Instagram, let's save that for another day. The reason being is that I'm recording this live on on YouTube and on the Roadcaster Pro, right? So if you come on now, it's gonna mess up the audio because you won't be connected to the Procaster, and the YouTube people won't hear you. So we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna have another phone that you can call into, and we're gonna do it like that. I'm gonna follow you back, bro. My bad. I thought I followed you. But this is dope though. Me going live on YouTube. I didn't think that this is a this is this is a tester. For example, testers meaning that testers is like your first run is not going to be your best, but you got to do it anyway. Martin, can you do me a favor and get the charger for me over there before it don't die? So your tester is like not a tester. It's not a tester. This is a first run. It's not no test. There's no test. No, this ain't no test to this. This is the first. This is what we going with, right? Is it the best how I want to get it? No. But is it a start? Yeah. Right. Many times we start to be like, oh, it's not perfect, or it's not where I wanted to get. So then we don't. You know the charger? It's over there. It's plugged in. See the charger? See the charger? Give me the charger, man. You see it? Maybe it's on the bed. Actually, no, it's not. Sorry, buddy. It's right here. Wait, no, it's not. You see it? Where the fuck is the charger at? Damn, now I got lost the charger. All right. I'm about to end this because I don't want this to end and then I don't post it.